Greetings, everyone. I'm Raji, the Rising trans activist, author, and actress. And you probably recognize me from the reality show Botch. Does his face look familiar? Well, I am ecstatic today because I'm coming to you from Plantation, Florida in the USA. And I'm sitting here with some really phenomenal, can I say it enough? Phenomenal transgender individuals. It is an honor to share this table with you all. And I'd like to go around the room. We're going to go ahead, we're around the table, I should say. We're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves for the audience.
Bonnie D. Florida Marquez.
Raji. I'm Christian.
And I'm Jimmy.
So, let me explain a little bit about what we're doing here. Okay. So, there's not one transgender individual that represents our community. We are a diverse community of people with different journeys, different paths. And we are, first of all, friends. We are good friends. We sit around all the time talking about different topics that relate to our community, but also topics that everyone can relate to. So we thought one day, while we were sitting around the fire at Bonnie's house, and by the way, we're using Bonnie's house for our show. Thank you, Bonnie. And we said, wait a minute, why not film our discussions? Because I'm sure there's many people out there that are going to relate to it, not just trans people, all types of people. So I don't know, what's on your minds today? Because we want to be spontaneous with this. We'll talk about current events. We'll talk about funny things that happen to me. I might check my boobs a little bit.
Me too.
But we're going to have fun with this. And just, so you all know, we want to hear from you. So make sure and comment. We want to hear your comments. We want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you might want us to discuss in regards to our community or the world. So anyway, anyone has something pressing on their heart that they'd like to talk about?
No, it's just awesome that we're all together right here, right now. And I know we have our group meetings that we go to during the week that are sponsored by different organizations, and some of the conversations we have are quite profound. And I think, as Raji said, they're not limited to the trans community. We're humans just like everyone else. It's just that we're maybe a different flavor. And so the experiences that we have throughout our journey, we can share with others to maybe help others in their journey. And that's kind of like what I'm here anyhow. It's to share my story with others. If I can do it, you can do it. And the sense of being your true self is powerful beyond measure. And some of us were uncomfortable in our previous lives, now we're not comfortable. My case wasn't exactly that. I didn't really experience dysphoria per se. Dysphoria is a feeling that a transgender person experiences because their gender doesn't match what's in their head. How I look at it was I experiencing discomfort being a caterpillar? No, because I knew at some point I would blossom into a butterfly, and that's where I'm at now. But everyone's, like Raji said, everyone's journey is different. And so that's just basically what I wanted to say for right now. But this will be interesting. I'm sure it'll get lively as the evening progresses.
Exactly. Well, because think about it. I think no matter whether you're transgender, gay, straight, whatever you are, I think that everyone has moments in their journey where they have to make a decision to stand up in their truth against what other people are saying. Because inside they know that this is what is right for them. So, it could be dealing with gender. It could be that your mom and dad wanted you to be a doctor and you wanted to be an artist. I mean, I think on so many different levels, people have to stand up and say at some point in their life and say, wait a minute, no. This is what I feel. This is what I feel that's right for me. So I want to hand it over to Mr. Christian. And they did the right thing. I gotta say, anytime I get to sit next to a fine guy, honey, it's a good day for me. A real good day. But I will have to acknowledge that we have our camera person that's filming this wonderful scene of us, and it happens to be Miss
Come step in front of the
Nevaeh.
camera, that's gonna be.
And that's this gentleman's girlfriend. So I'm going to behave myself, okay? I'm not going to go too far. Anyway, Christian.
So, this idea about us coming together and bringing personal testimony, I feel like it's going to help out a lot of different people watching this, whether you're on the spectrum or not. We still would like to educate everyone and maybe get an ally or two. The more that you know, the more that you grow. So I really believe in that. And the more that we understand one another and can be familiar with each other's struggles, because we all have a baseline of struggles that we all can relate to on some level or another. But when we deepen that knowledge and understanding of each other's, just lives, just living, and what it takes to get back to the good places instead of being stuck in the bad, then we can grow as a society, and not just as an LGBT community. It can be with people that are cis-normative and that identify off of this spectrum. And then we can grow as a nation. We can grow together in unity as a world, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, everything that consists of having a well-rounded life. And that's what I want. I want our talks to kind of embody, and I think that's the effect that we're going to have. That's what I really truly believe, that it's the effect that we're going to have. So I really appreciate that we all took the time out of our schedules to come together and make this happen, because I don't think that I could be on a better panel with better individuals such as yourselves.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
It's making me blush. What can I say? And so powerful, Christian, because that's true. Beyond us being trans, isn't it about people just living their optimal life, and we as human beings, we're spirits living this human experience. So despite our differences, we're all really connected. You really hit on something. So now, Ella, that, from Rihanna's umbrella. So it's your turn, sweetie.
Okay, I'd like to talk because, we are talking about differences. I know that most people, when they look at transgender, or they think about transgender people, they stereotype us. Please don't, because if there is one thing we cannot be, is stereotype. The diversities and the changes between the people from the transgender community are hundreds. Let's put it this way, one side is male, one side is female, and what's in between, and sometimes there are cis men and cis women in that between. It's very diverse and versatile. Within our transgender community, we are very diverse and versatile. We have got our backgrounds, our levels of, I just have to say something. I know some transgender people which are, incredible people. Scientists, NASA scientists, I know them. And I know other people which are not. But we're all brothers and sisters. We are all part of this wonderful community. I feel myself blessed because I'm a transgender, because it made me question more until I got here. I'm a late bloomer. I became a transgender very late in my life. I've got two people here which we can say are pioneers, on my right and my left, and they're going to talk about that too. But I'm a late bloomer, but I am a very happy bloomer. Better late than never. That's what I always say. And this is what we have to go to. We are great people. We are fantastic people. Many of us, we have gone through a level of thinking which is considerably higher than most, because can you imagine what it is? You got a feeling, and you have to be so strong that you have to trust your feeling for the rest of your life. That's not easy. That's really not easy. And that's what we are. So look at transgender people as not being one group. It is a huge group of different facets, like a diamond with different shines.
Oh,
Awesome.
awesome. Yay. Champagne like a diamond.
Yes.
You did another Rihanna thing on this show. Thank you for saying that. And I really, touched my heart when you said, you referred to me as a pioneer.
Of course you do.
So thank you.
Thank you for opening the doors for acceptance that we have
honey.
now, and everything which has been happening in politics in many years.
I'm getting hot, honey. I need my fan.
Hey, you have to know that we are still forbidden in 91 countries in this world.
I know.
And sometimes with penalty of death.
Yes.
So we have to fight for our rights. It's as simple as that.
That's right. Trans people. This isn't just an American thing. We are
international.
doing this show for trans people all over the world. All over the world. And we want to hear from you guys, our brothers and sisters in places
From
where...
all over the world.
Yes, everywhere.
I know a girl from Dubai. She's a gorgeous girl. Absolutely gorgeous transgender girl.
Oh, does she kind of look like me?
Well, probably when you were about 24.
What are you
Anyway.
saying? I'm gonna get you, girl. Let me take off my earrings and get my Vaseline. No, I'm playing. Yeah, but go ahead.
Anyway,
Yeah.
can you imagine? This girl has got an issue. She was born in a country where transgender people have no rights. She cannot even change her name officially or her gender. Well, she looks very beautiful. When the police asks her for her papers and he shows her papers, it says a male. She has been raped by the police. She has been whipped by the police. Her body is full of marks from being whipped. This is not acceptable. She's a human being. She's a respectful human being, and we have the right to respect her like everybody else.
I can't help to think about like those trans people, that it's like a life and death situation. I mean, for us, we have to think about like when we go certain places, but at least here in America now, we can kind of maneuver throughout
Absolutely.
society. But dear Lord, like to imagine
This
being
is not
trans.
always the case.
I
This is not
know.
always the case. I am a very happy girl, and I'm a very fortunate girl that I can travel all over the world
You can.
without much issues,
Honey,
and I
look
do
at
that.
Look at
and I
this
do that.
passable girl.
But it's a risk. It's always a risk.
It is. But you being so passable and beautiful helps, okay?
Thank you very much for your compliment.
So last but not least, oh my gosh, honey, the mother of the house.
Yes,
Because we
House
are
of
in
D.
her we are in her house, okay? Her beautiful home, by the way. When I came here the other day, I was like, wow, Bonnie, you really have a beautiful home, and she welcomed us into it to do this show. So Bonnie, take it away.
Where do I start? I have so much I want to say. I started transitioning similar to Raji. I was started on hormones in 78, started transition 79, went to San Francisco 1980. I actually had my SRS surgery in 1984. But everybody has a different story. I lived the female role all the way up to 1990, maybe 92, but then I kind of detransitioned, and I've only retransitioned back. November makes 1 year. Not that I really ever went back looking like a man, but anyway, I put that uniform on for years. But the point of this whole thing that we're doing here, I want everybody to understand, it's not for money. We want to give back to the community. There's diversity on this panel. Jamie, also known as Shannon, she's into bodybuilding, into her body, into positivity, into unlimited things I can go on. Christian, trans man, go-getter, has goals, wants to achieve that are unbelievable. And what's so exciting, he's young and he's on the right track. Not when he's 50 that he gets how life is. He's doing it now. Raji, she comes back from a time when I come. We lost a lot of friends to AIDS. We lost a lot of friends to different things. We dealt with the violence. We weren't accepted. We were outcasts. I still carry around sometimes things that happened to me from people wanting to beat us up and this and that, whereas a lot of the people that haven't transitioned and now time is better, they don't carry that fear that sometimes we carry because we had to go through those times. Ella, she's a professional writer. Not only that, she's traveled, I think, to 78 countries. She's a businesswoman. She's out there in the real world. She's in Europe 1 week. She's in South America the next week. Who knows where she's at?
I want to get in her suitcase.
But bottom line is, what I'm trying to say, everybody here has a story. And what we want to try to do is eventually set up a website, and everybody will have their own page, and everybody will be able to tell their stories, and someone might relate to Shannon, somebody might relate to Christian, on and on and on. Somebody might relate to him. Some people may transition and then detransition, and everybody up here pretty much has gone through a little bit of that. But throughout these shows, we're going to be sharing our life experiences, and hopefully the people that are watching this can look at us and say, I can relate to that, and I can relate to that. And we're going to also have guest people that'll come on. So this is something that we're going to try to do that'll be educational, that will move forward, that we can help people, that this can even help parents or spouses of trans people, not just the trans people. They can hear and see our stories and what we've been through. So this is not limited just to trans people. This can be for a gay person trying to come out to their parents and say, listen, I am human. You don't have to dislike me. I'm a good person. You know, on and on and on. I was in a situation when I transitioned, I couldn't get a job. I was selling Mr. Frosty out of an ice cream truck. That's the best I could do. I went in business for myself. And you know what? I was accepted by the community even back then, and some really high-end people. And it helped me build my self-worth. And because of that, I reached the levels that I have in life is because I couldn't get a job and I was forced into it. So not to dwell on me in my situations and all that, I just want everybody to understand that this here is to give back. We've all been through a lot, and now it's time for us to give back. And when you can give, that's the best gift in the world. Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
I would just like to add something, if you don't mind, because
Sure.
you were talking about giving back to the community, and I travel quite a lot. I really would like to make some videos with people all around the world, transgender people all around the world when I travel. So tell me where you are, and next in November I'll be in Europe. I'd love to meet you in Europe. I'll be in France, Germany, and Switzerland. So I would love to meet someone.
Oh my God, Ella, great
And
idea.
make some videos and
Yeah.
and you know, publish here within the group, because you know, transgenders have no borders. We are all over the place.
All over the world. That's right. Oh my God, that's a great idea.
We've been around the world since the beginning of time.
Absolutely.
Being
For 5,000
transgender
years.
isn't anything new.
No.
It's nothing new. What Ella had mentioned also too, maybe there's some countries on the planet that trans folks aren't welcome. but there are a hell of a lot of countries that are.
Thailand,
And the United States,
Fiji.
in my own transgender experience, there's never been a better time than right now
Absolutely.
to blossom as whoever you are. And forget about the politics in Washington, D.C. I don't even want to discuss that. People get all bent out of shape about what's going on in D.C. We should focus on what's going on in ourselves, in our own circle. If we would all, as a society, if we would just all work on ourselves and keep our own grass green, keep our own lawn mowed, keep our own affairs in order, our family affairs in order, ourself in order, everything else would take care of itself. So I'm down here in Fort Lauderdale. Washington, D.C. is a fucking hell of a it's far away. So in my own world, none of that is relevant. And I think this will apply to anybody, whether you're trans or not. I don't care who you are. If we enter a situation, if we enter a room and we add value to that room, we make some sort of a contribution. Anything. I know when I told my parents I was trans, my mom blew a gasket and my dad kind of raised an eyebrow. My mom wouldn't even look at me for months. I would go to my parents' house, visit with my parents. My mother wouldn't look at me, but I still took out the garbage. I did the dishes in the sink. I became an asset. I added value to the situation. Regardless of the cold shoulder that my mom was giving me, I still told her, hey, Mom, I love you. Eventually, my mom came around, and not too long ago, she sat by my side at the Sunshine Cathedral Church here in Fort Lauderdale, which is an LGBT church. And my mom now is, I wouldn't go as far as saying my advocate, but she's on board. And unfortunately, my father passed away several months ago. But with family members and being, I just don't want to be accepted. I don't want to be just accepted by our society. I want to be a leader of our society. Forget about just transgender people are, we're accepted. Bullshit.
Yeah. Or
I wanna-
tolerated.
No,
right?
I want to be an asset. So I make
Shannon is a
myself.
very successful business person, just so you know.
I'm an arborist. So if we provide value to others, if we contribute to other people's lives, not only will we get a pass, but we will be sought after.
Yeah. We are some really talented individuals. We have a lot that we bring to the world. And on that note, we will be back after these messages. I need another drink. I gotta cool off a little bit because I'm hot with these dynamic trans people. And when we come back, we're gonna share some funny stories about our transition. I thought that would be a good idea, right?
Awesome.
Okay. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. Get a snack and come on back. And I'm not trying to act like Wendy.